Wait, I added one to the
Shane, we are
comments.
live. What's going on, everyone? We are back. Guys, let's get right into a trade here. So 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 11. Give Matthew Stafford, get a projected mid 23 first, Amari Cooper, and Samuel Darnold. What do you think?
I don't like Cooper and Darnold. It's a good start with the 23 mid first. Like things are going well, and then that happens, and then it's Amari Cooper and Sam Darnold. I think I got to hold Stafford.
I don't hate it because, well, I'll say this. Now is the window in the next 2 or 3 days to buy Amari Cooper if you think Watson's going to play at least half a season. Because he's being valued now like down. I'm not saying he's dirt cheap, but he's being valued way lower than the likes of like Mike Evans and Brandon Cooks and Allen Robinson. Yet if we're like Watson plays 12 games, he's right up with those guys. He's a wide receiver too. He's better than Brandon Cooks, basically, if Watson plays. So he's being viewed, I think, as a throw-in this trade. But if you tell me I get 12 games of Amari with Watson and I get a 23 first for Stafford, Darnold's just – this is the type of deal I make when I have 4 quarterbacks.
Right.
And my third is like – or my fourth is Jameis Winston or Mac Jones, and no one will give me a first for them. I pivot off my third quarterback like Stafford, and I just liquidate and get a bunch of pieces. And Darnold, if he gives you a spot start or 2 or 3, or maybe you get a third for him or something like that. But I don't hate the package if Watson plays.
You going to start Darnold in your XFL league? Or are you starting him?
Well, so here's the thing. I mean, it sounds like Sam Darnold is probably going to be the opening day starter for Carolina. So, I mean, I'm not saying
it's trash can day. It's trash can day at opening day.
I'm not saying he's good, but if he starts a game, you can throw him back in a trade. You know what I mean? So I don't hate it. I don't hate the package.
Yeah, it's one of those trades though. Like it's I don't hate the package either, but if you're bailing somebody out, giving them Matthew Stafford, giving them a solid quarterback, you need to make it hurt. You have to charge a serious tax. And I kind of agree with Shane, like not exactly enthused by Amari Cooper, more so resale wise, but I don't know. We'll see. Given team context, I might take the
well, let me add this. If you needed a quarterback, you would be okay sending that to get Stafford if you needed a QB2.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's the difference. Yeah. Like we look at the other side of the trade and I go, dude, if I need a quarterback and someone's actually willing to sell me one for a random first and I have to throw in a veteran receiver, then I would do it that way too.
Right. Exactly. Okay. 12-team, 1 QB, half PPR, no tight end premium, start 10. Side A is George Kittle and a projected mid to late 23 first. Side B is Kyle Pitts and a third.
12 teams, start 10.
I'm going Pitts just because I don't think the first has the same juice mid to late in a single quarterback. I'm not as excited about that. It's valuable, but if that's all you got to add and that ends up being the 109 in a single QB and I get Pitts for Kittle, I'm taking that.
Yeah. And it's a half PPR. So, that makes the first more likely to be a crappy running back at that point.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll go ahead and take Pitts here.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's get rid of that one. Let's put this one up. 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 10. Give Hollywood Brown and $70 Desmond Ridder in our auction. Get 23 first, mid late.
Oh, yeah, give me the first, bro. I don't care about Ridder here. Ritter's just, you did that just because someone was like, I can't just straight up give you a 23 first for just Hollywood. So I'm going to throw Ridder in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you get a first for Hollywood, that's a win, but all it takes is you add Desmond Ridder in there. You're like, okay, fine, I'll do it because it's liquidation. You freed up 2 roster spots and you're much happier with having that first banked.
Exactly. Well, hey everyone! If you're in the crowd, thanks for joining. As always, it's Saturday, so it's live stream day. We're going over your trades. If you're watching on the replay, we're going over our subscriber trades and also those in the live room here. Thank you for joining. Look down, hit that like if you wouldn't mind. If you are liking it, hit it even if you're not liking it right now because you'll like it in a little bit. And if you're watching on replay, and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. You could watch worse. Okay, let's say that. Oh, Heavy Kevy coming in with his usual Saturday super chat tip. Thank you, my friend. Let's go 12 team super flex PPR. Tight end is 1.5, start 10. This is Empire League. Gave Godwin and Fant, got Kelce and Nico Collins going all in. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I'm good with this. I just talked about Fant on HQ last night because we were going through the top 12 tight ends in ADP, and somehow Noah Fant is still in the top 12 despite never scoring more than 9.9 fantasy points per game. Look, I loved Fant coming out of college, but dude is nothing but a myth. And then in Empire League, even more. I'm great with getting Kelce and trying to win now. I bet you Kelce outproduces him over the next 3 years anyway, to be quite frank. So yeah, I'll take the Kelce side.
I will agree with Shane and disagree with Shane. I mean, come on. Fant has been a 90-plus target guy in absolutely dreadful offenses. He's still 25 years old or younger. He's fine. He's a good buy for Dynasty, but yeah, if he stays in Seattle, you're looking at like the next 3 or 4 years of his career, and you're like, okay, I'm going to have tight end 11, tight end 13. And I mean, Empire says it all here, dude. If you're going for the hammer with Kelce, and all you have to do is throw in basically a wide receiver 2 coming off an ACL injury and a low end tight end 1, and you're getting Nico Collins back. I mean,
Yeah.
Not that we really like him, but he's one of those guys that's worth more than a third probably. So if you can throw him in another deal, maybe with a future pick or something, then I like getting him as the throw in. It's not a zero in the trade. So great move, Heavy Kevy, and appreciate the super chat.
Yeah,
I can't ever just agree with me. It's always got to be like, oh, I got to disagree with Shane somewhere.
Because you had to throw in the dig on Noah Fant, and it's like, okay, listen,
that low blow on Fant.
How is it a low blow? He is what he is. He's a very nice back end tight end 12. Good for you. Excellent.
Tight end 12.
I will say I agree with Shane that you have to kind of evaluate these guys on their fantasy production and not like the what could have been. So I have to refrain from making excuses for players. So thank you, Shane. Good evaluation.
Yeah, you got to go to more divorce. Get divorced more often. You'll start to see things in black and white instead of what could have been.
All right. Jeffrey Jacobs, first trade of the week. I like how he said first trade of the week. That means he's like, he's rocking several trades a week. Respect. 12 teams, super flex, PPR, 1.5 tight end premium, start 10. Gave Uzoma, Gray, and an
Danny
early,
Gray.
I was about to say Daniel Gray. An early 23 third, got Julio, Hayden Hurst, and a 24 third. Oh, I see you on Twitter, Mr. Jeffrey Jacobs. Gotcha. Yeah, you posted this one. I liked your got side because you said you were going for it, and Julio Jones is really the only like relevant piece like in the whole trade.
Yeah, so
like what I remember.
On Thursday, I went to the office and I had 3 empty cans in my trash can. So this is the equivalent of me like walking those to the floor's trash can and putting them in there, and like someone actually giving me back like a dime or a quarter.
Yeah.
So I mean, literally, you gave up nothing here. You gave up essentially 2 roster cloggers, most likely, and a 3rd round pick to get 2 players and a 3rd round pick. So, I mean, I don't understand the Gabe side, what they were looking at in this trade, other than they maybe saw the 23 third and figured they were going to get next year's Danny Gray.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You know what they saw? They saw Danny Gray. They went, oh, he's got good draft capital. So let me just get Danny Gray on my roster and take a shot on him. It was a way this dude was just like, I'm just moving some trash off of my team and I'm taking a shot on any prospect that I can get. And that,
well done, Jeffrey Jacobs. You turned you turned your empty cans into like actual usable pieces at some point. Nice job.
Yeah, nicely done. So actually, we'll stick with this. This was a question that I had in the hopper from the community post. Oh, look at how big the text is when you only have this much text.
Wow.
What is Julio Jones worth now? If you can't read that on your screen, it says question, what is Julio Jones worth now? What do you think, guys?
He's worth a third.
Worth a third?
He's worth a third. No one's going to probably sell for a third if you come and try to buy him. That's the problem, is like you should have probably bought him before, but you wouldn't have wanted to pay a third because he might have literally retired. And now that you want him, if I go to Clay, hey, can I have your Julio Jones and a start 11 or start 12? You're going to be like, I have no incentive to give him to you for a third. But I'm not paying a second. So it's almost like he's one of those players that's in between the second and third, and you have to get creative, like the last deal where you just throw, a bunch of shit at the wall and hope you get something back.
Yeah, basically that's what I would do. I'd be like, all right, well, here's Julio Jones and a third and a future third and a future third. Can I get a second back?
Yeah. See if you can tack on a bunch of thirds.
Yeah. Like, I'll give you 6 4th-round draft picks and Julio Jones. Can I get a second, please?
I love Julio Jones. He's a freaking beast. Okay, Battle of the Bards, 10 team, 2 QB, PPR, start 10. Give the 101 and a 23 second. Get Jalen Waddle and the 102.
Ooh,
I'll take Waddle and the 102, man.
Yeah,
and I'll figure it out.
10-teamer, man. I kind of leaning towards give me the running back. I can replace Waddle a little bit. Like, I could probably go buy wide receiver production with the 23 second. And honestly, here's the thing. Who would you draft at the 102? That's my question. If I'm just going to draft a wide receiver, I'm a little apprehensive to do it because Breece in a 10-teamer could be a major difference maker.
Yeah, I'm not Breece Hall in a 10-team. I can be honest with you. If there's a 12-team, I'm probably still leaning Breece Hall. Give me Breece Hall in the second. Because, you're going to draft Waddle and then what? Ken Walker? That's a far, far golf.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on drafting with that 102, but then I thought back to all the rookie draft, and it's like, wait, I really struggled to trade out of this freaking draft.
I mean, you could trade that 102. It's just you're going to get the 109 and a second rounder back. So.
Yep. No, that's a good trade. Okay, Battle of the Bards. Thank you. Let's go to Mr. Mole. 12-team, 1 QB, PPR, start 8. Give Metcalf, get Sutton, and a 24 first. I will stick with the give side. Start 8.
Nah, give me. I think Sutton has a better chance of cracking your lineup even than a start 8. So I'd just take the free
DK
first.
Metcalf.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott's high tonight. Okay. I'm sticking with Metcalf.
I mean, why? What puts Metcalf
start 8
in Seattle in your lineup in a start 8? They're both probably on the fringe at best, so why not take the free first?
Well, did you see Metcalf splits with Geno Smith last year, Scott? They were just absurd. He was great. He was a wide receiver 1. Okay. I still have hopes of wide receiver 1 for Metcalf. Sutton couldn't be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL if every other receiver retired.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't believe you're going Sutton in the 24 first there. I mean, whatever. Process. Trust the process.
I'm out on Metcalf. I think he's a low end wide receiver 1 at the very, very, very best. And if anything, his value is going to trend back towards the pack over the next year or two.
So what's your ceiling for Sutton?
I think the point is in a start 8, they both fall outside of desirable starter range. So give me the free first. I'm not really even looking at the wide receivers. I'm going I'm going to have to pick a time to put one of these receivers in my lineup, and I'm going to be as confident to do it with Sutton as Metcalf. So I want the free first because there's a chance I could take Sutton and the first, turn it into a better player. What am I getting with Metcalf? Am I really going to be able to turn him around and turn him into production on the trade market in the next year or two? I don't think so.
Yeah, but we've talked about Metcalf before where he's in a situation, if he comes out and smashes, he's going to fly up. His value is going to increase like a lot. If he just goes out and struggles, well, guess what? He's got the built-in excuse of I had Geno Smith and Drew Lock throwing me passes, and next year it'll be Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or whoever it is
a rookie
Seattle ends up drafting. Yeah, but a good rookie. You know that we don't care if it's a rookie anymore.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields were good rookies too.
But and how much did we hype them up though? I'm not talking about what they're going to actually do. I'm talking about the narrative around it.
Right. I'm just going based on, and I know this isn't a Metcalf or Sutton debate. I'm literally going on. It's very hard to be a top 12 receiver if you have a shitty quarterback. Period. And he has a shitty quarterback, and he's going to have a shitty quarterback for 2 years. So I'm not out on Metcalf the player. I'm out on Metcalf at wide receiver 7 or whatever he is, because if you go to try to actually trade him, you ain't getting wide receiver 7 prices. This is a wide receiver 7 price type of deal. And I think the issue is Shane doesn't like Cortland Sutton. You put someone else in that trade, he might say, oh, I like that. So.
And he loves Metcalf. Okay, 12-team, 1 QB, PPR, start 8. Gave the 102 and 104, got Jamar Chase. Gotta throw up a brag trade every once in a while. Good job getting you some Jamar Chase.
Okay, so if that's start 13, what side do you take here? It's obviously Chase still, but like I think this is just a good one to educate why the start 8 makes this like you'd have to add the 102, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get Chase from me in like a start 8, you know?
And don't forget the 101. That's the most important part. It's not in this trade.
And the 101. But my point is you have to pay 150% of Chase's real market price to get him in a start 8 because it's like, what am I getting? Just 5 pieces, you know?
Yeah. Yep. Hey, don't forget to hit the like and the smash subscribes.
So the heavy super chat, we haven't discussed what the $10 is going towards. So it's either going towards a video where other super chats go towards. I do most of the editing, but Liam, our boy, does a good amount of it, and he's ridiculous with it, right, guys? But Shane also needs a new light. He looks like shit. He needs a new ring light. All right, so that may go towards that. We'll keep you posted, Heavy Kevy. Thank you either way. Okay. We'll go to this trade right here. Rich Jones the third, 12-team, 2 QB, PPR, start 9. Side 1 is CeeDee. Side 2 is 2 23 firsts, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tolbert, and Rashad White.
Man.
Rich Jones the third. Where are these 23 firsts? If you're in the chat, type in there.
Doesn't matter.
I'm curious though.
2 QB. Give me the 2 first, plus I get at least like somewhat usable pieces that I can maybe add. Like they're probably all the guys he's getting are on the fringe or on the outside of usability in a start 9. But yeah, give me the package all day.
Yeah, 223 first is enough for me to go. I don't believe in CeeDee that much. I'm out. And then I'm on Ross St. Brown. I get Rashad White. Sure, you get Jalen Tolbert, so whatever. But that's only 123 first.
Yeah. So it's side 2 got me all confused there. Yeah, it's 123 first, and I hid the other one now. But
okay, so that changes all the calculus. I'm going with CeeDee in that case, obviously.
Agree.
Yep.
That start 9, that's where you're throwing the 4 pieces and hoping you can get 1 upgrade. So he did a good job.
Okay. Let's go to this start one here. 12-team, 1 QB, PPR, start 8. Debo and a 24 second for Hollywood and a 24 first. I have Kyler.
Got Hollywood in the first, bro.
I mean the start 8, right?
See, it's funny because Shane will take Metcalf and Sutton in the 24 first, yet you look at ADP and Debo is ahead of Metcalf in ADP.
He is. But
yet he will take Hollywood in the 24 first here because apparently Hollywood's way better than Cortland Sutton.
I mean, he's produced better than Cortland Sutton ever has, and he's been in an offense that throws just as few. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Not much more than
the word is called process, which is underneath our Dynasty Trades in 5 logo. I'm just pointing out in 1, you took basically this is your bias for Metcalf and against Sutton because you just went the other way on an exact same type of deal here.
We talk about this all the time. I believe in the process, but I also believe in at some point you got to make a bet on a player and go, this player is actually better than this player. Cortland Sutton is not good. I mean, I haven't seen any indication on the NFL football fantasy field to show me that he's someone that I should think is a wide receiver 1. He's just never shown it. Marquise Brown has, at least. And now, is he going to be? I don't know, but yeah, he is the Kyler narrative now, shower buddies or whatever. But just straight up, I'll take Hollywood all day over a player like Cortland Sutton.
Did you know Cortland Sutton had 1,100 yards in 2019?
He did, and he still only scored 11 points a game.
Which side were you taking in this one, Scott? And then I'm getting rid of it.
I'm taking the one that gets the 24 first because I literally don't see the difference in the wide receivers in a start 8. You're just betting on if Debo's not a wide receiver 5 or better, then you win the trade by getting the first.
Okay, let's go to there's another. Oh, I just didn't get rid of it. I was like, there's another Sutton DK Metcalf trade. Okay, let's go to this one here. We'll go to Rich Jones the third again because he's still on the start because Shane's operating the stars. 12-team, 2 QB PPR, start 8. Side 1 is Deshaun Watson and Brandon Ayuk. Side 2 is Pickett and Jerry Jeudy.
I don't even know. Like,
What's going on here?
Is this someone from the future and they found that Deshaun Watson's suspended for 2 years? Because that's the only way this deal makes sense to me. This is Deshaun Watson and Brandon Ayuk by about
even then,
Watson can get a 2-year suspension, and he still probably is in my fantasy lineup before Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
which means that's like 2024.
Man, that's murder, as our friend Irv Gotti would say. Yeah.
12-team Superflex PPR, 2-point tight end premium, start 10. Chris Godwin and a mid-23 first, or CeeDee Lamb?
This is called the process. Shane, where are you going?
Called the process.
Yeah, this is enough to be like, all right, see you, CD. Chris Godwin in 23 first. It is.
Scott, there was an amazing comment in the YouTube comments where it's like, do you guys have like a link to a video that explains what the process is? And a bunch of people chimed in saying, listen to Dynasty and Chill, listen to Scott, you'll learn what the process is. We might have to have you record like a 5-minute video and we can just post it unlisted to our subscribers, just you talking about what process is, because we say the word a lot. What do you think? We'll talk about it offline. We'll give you Heavy Kevy's $10 if you do it. What do you think?
Yeah. See, unfortunately, you put me on the spot to do a process video like that, and then you're like, "Hey, keep it to 5 minutes," which is basically an impossible process for me. It would end up being 55 minutes, and then it would have to be like an entire episode. But yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. Well, we're Dynasty Trades in 5, so
right. We used to be.
Yeah, we don't hold numbers. Okay. Let's see here. Stickman 87. If someone has your 23 first, would you try to swap to get yours back? Context: there are currently 3 likely contenders: me, prior champ, and a glass cannon. I have their first. Someone else has mine. Speak about being a contender. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it, Scott.
Well, so the way I'm reading this is he has somebody else's first, and his first someone else has, but he's also a contender. So in that case, like, if you think your team, I mean, the first answer would be if you think your team's going to be better than the one that, you're holding, or the pick that you're holding, if your team's going to be better than theirs, I don't see the reason to necessarily try to get a swap. Now, you can take a better first like that and try to get a plus back, you know what I mean? And just bet, or kind of give yourself a little bit of insurance. That's not how I play it. In fact, I actually try to go the other way. I'm somebody that if I think I have angles where my team has more upside, I'm actually fine going and swapping for other people's first to get rid of my own. Just because I have control of my own, I have control of the direction of the team. Obviously, if you know your team sucks and you're planning on blowing it up, or you're really, really thin, maybe you have like Watson as your QB1, like, you're not rushing to trade your first. But like, if I think my team has a chance to be really good and everyone else views my team as just a contender, if I can go and look to the bottom 2 or 3 teams and throw in a wide receiver 3 plus my first to get theirs, like, that's a big move. If you end up hitting on it, you end up getting like the 102 for the 110, something like that. You'd easily throw in, Brandon Ayuk or something like that in that trade. But it's a gamble. You got to be really targeted. Like, you got to go to like the really, really bad teams and try to swap away your first for theirs.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see the upside in that. Like, you think your team's going to be good, so you want to trade for your pick. So you're trying to trade for a worse pick. No, I'm good.
I think you might be going for like, do you want to have the insurance of owning your own first instead of not having it? But I think ultimately and Shane can let me know what you think on your side, but I think that comes down to how you feel about your team. I mean, I have a lot of leagues, so I don't really care what first I have, and I don't look at my own first like, man, I have to have that, because most of my teams, I'm not planning on absolutely having it become a train wreck where I need my own first. I'd rather bet on like Clay's first, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, Clay might miss this. Clay might tank his team.
I want his try to get my first. You should always try to get my first. That's good. That's good. That's good process. That's process right there. Okay, 14-team Superflex PPR, 0.25 point per carry. So that's a big point per carry advantage there. Start 10 rebuilding. Give AJ Brown, Alan Lazard, and Kareem Hunt. Get Davis Mills, 23 first, 24 first, and a 23 second.
Shane, it has AJ Brown. You have to go first.
Yeah, I'm just doing the math in my head. I'm gonna take Davis Mill in the two firsts. Alan Lazard doesn't mean anything to me under any circumstances whatsoever. I'm also going to immediately trade Davis Mills because I'm rebuilding anyway, and I'm going to get myself another first because someone's going to be stupid enough to give me one, even if I have to use that 23 second. So I'm gonna have to get the Git side and then move Mills immediately before we have to see him play football again, and people remember how mediocre he is.
Yeah, the old saying is you are who you associate with, and I'm glad to associate with Shane because that's exactly what was going through my mind. If I get this trade, I bank 2 firsts I'm throwing in 2 players that are not worth first in Lazard and Kareem Hunt. But then I can take Davis Mills and a 23 second, and I can probably spam and get at least a 24 first back for that. So like I'm netting basically 3 firsts, and all I'm giving up is AJ Brown and 2 second round level assets. So yeah. Great trade if you can pull that off.
Yeah, definitely take that side. Okay, this looks like there's some sexy names in this one. 12 team Superflex PPR start 10. Give Trey Lance, Javonte Williams, and Pat Freiermuth. Receive Kyler Murray and DK Metcalf.
Dude, you're getting an absolute an elite top 5 quarterback, and DK Metcalf, who Scott will even admit is at worst a wide receiver too. For Lance, who we like, but we're just not sure he can actually throw, which is a little important at the quarterback position. Javante's a running back, so he almost doesn't count as a person. He's slightly above a kicker, but not far. And Pat Freiermuth, again, is another guy that's more legend than substance. Yeah, give me Murray and DK.
Yeah, I will have to go with the Murray and DK side. Now, a caveat, if you can get something a bit different than Freiermuth in a deal in just a PPR, he's one of those tight ends where he's basically the same as like Gesicki, Dawson Knox. Like he's a platooner in a PPR league, so he doesn't really move the needle. But if you throw in, like let's just play devil's advocate and throw in Brandon Ayuk in this trade. So you get Ayuk, Lance, and Javonte. I think I take that side. I'm getting the 3 pieces in a start 10 because I think all 3 of those are in your lineup. That's a lot closer. But yeah, Freiermuth, you're not going to flex, and you really don't want to be starting in every week. So I think that's the difference in the trade. So I'll go DK Kyler.
I like it. Good trade. Okay, we'll hide that one. Go to some of these stars. Lolita Pizzetti. I'm sure I nailed it. Traded Burks for Walker straight up. Was that a win or a loss? So traded Treylon Burks for Ken Walker straight up. What do you think?
I prefer Burks, but that also depends a lot on the settings. My roster, like they're close enough that I could convince myself why Walker's the better move here. I mean, I like Burks better long term, but I'm fine getting running backs on rosters that I think can win now.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Burks actually has the highest over-under for production for rookie receivers. So if you're looking for, an early declare 21-year-old receiver to gain value, it's probably him. But if you're in a rookie draft, are you necessarily taking Burks over Walker? I think that's a need-based trade, like Shane said. There'd be teams where I go, let me trade away a wide receiver for a running back, and then, if I was forced to take Walker and I can get Burks, who probably went ahead of Walker in the draft, then I would do it that way too if it was a bad team.
Yep. Okay, this was a really cool one that somebody starred here. A-Town 21 had to pay $8 to get Wi-Fi on the plane so I could stream live, and y'all started with my trade. Worth it. Yeah, that's pretty kick-ass, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Great.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I can't believe you even got the Wi-Fi to work. Like I paid the $8. It's super fast being able to take my money, but then I try to go to, google.com and it's sitting there just like crawling. It won't even freaking load up the webpage. So
did you actually pay, or did you use a stolen credit card?
I've Buffalo nickels.
I'm just saying I've paid for the Wi-Fi on the plane and it worked fine. And
it's
A-Town would
always
really appreciate that.
Garbage.
Yeah, I started that
for some reason.
That's awesome. That A-Town's basically flying through time zones and
space. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Okay, let's go to this one. 12 team super flex. PPR 1.5 tight end premium, T. Higgins for DJ Moore, and a projected late 23 second.
Process.
How many starters?
What if it's a start? 11?
I mean, I think obviously the more starters, the more appealing is the DJ Moore and the Higgins side, because that second you could potentially turn into a startable piece for even like, a month during the season. But I'm fine with it. I guess the point with the process is basically, if you're looking at, here's a quick version of the process. You look at DJ Moore and T. Higgins. If you don't think T. Higgins can crack the top 8 or so, then if he doesn't, they're essentially in the same bucket. So take the free second. But if you're sitting here going like, oh, I like T. Higgins' situation, if you want to sell yourself on T. Higgins' value going up or holding, then you can do it that way. But I'm indifferent to this. I'd probably be like, I'd want more on the DJ Moore side for me to actually send T. Higgins away, but I don't hate the process. So
yeah, this is one of those deals where I'd fall back on I don't play portfolio, but in this specific instance, I'd probably take a look and see who I have more of. I know it's DJ Moore, so I'd probably go, I'll take T. Higgins here.
Yep. Agree with all the above. Okay. Let's hide that current comment. Let's go to, where was this one? Okay. Rebuilding in a super flex. Have Dak, I guess that's Zach Wilson and Jimmy G. Malik is on waivers. Is he worth grabbing? I guess it depends on how many roster spots you have, right?
It's a super flex. Yeah, I'm picking up Malik, because if Malik comes out and flashes in one game, people are going to go ape shit for him, because people still can't believe that he didn't go in the first round, and they still think that he's a transformative player. So yeah, I'll pick him up.
Well, and I think if it's shallow enough that Malik,
if
it's shallow enough that Malik is on waivers, then why do you have Jimmy Garoppolo on your roster?
Where's the upside there?
Especially as a rebuilding team, like, you're probably better off just dropping Garoppolo, letting somebody else waste a roster spot on him, and you just hold Willis. He's not hurting your potential points or anything. So, yeah, I agree with Shane, especially in a rebuild. But if Garoppolo's on waivers, if Malik is on waivers, then Garoppolo can be on waivers.
Yep. Okay. How about Nolan Wild? What is the value of Jameson Williams? Hold him or look to sell for a 23 first plus a wide receiver? What tier of players would you look to get back on top of that first? Shane, start with you. What do you think?
It's nice to dream, and you should dream big. If I can get a 23 first by itself for Jameson Williams, I'm out. The type of tier of player that it would need to be added to him would be nothing, literally nothing. But if you got someone that's, I guess especially bearish, is that the right word? I'm using that correctly? Bearish on him in your league, bullish, whatever. They really like him.
Bullish. Yeah.
Bullish like bull like. Literally, I'd take any wide receiver in a pick for Jameson Williams, dude. I don't think you can get that for him, but if you can spam your league with it, because it sounds like he thinks he can get it done. Spam your league for a 23 first, and I don't know, Diami Brown, doesn't matter.
Tim Patrick,
Terrace Marshall,
somebody who, will get snapped.
Not Diami Brown. Come on.
But Terrace Marshall is fine. He had he's just.
What about Denzel Mims? Denzel Mims do it for you?
Okay, no.
What I would do is I would try to get DJ Chark in a 23 first and give back like JMO in a 23 third, and that's in a direct bet against Jameson Williams this year.
Okay, let's go with this one right here. Roy Wilson, receive Cooper Kupp and Derrick Henry. Give Elijah Moore and my 2023 first. I have his 2023 first.
Yes, do it.
Okay, I can't do it, but you can go ahead and do it.
Well, no, see, I don't advocate necessarily giving up the 23 first, but he already has this guy's, and if
he
it's
might as well slaughter his team.
He's gutting Henry and Kupp, and I mean, arguably, Kupp is worth a 23 first. So essentially, you're paying a wide receiver 2/3 for a shot at an elite running back. I mean, I don't love it, but I think the second part where he says he has his 23 first, and you're now removing potentially 2 hammer players off of his roster. I like that aspect, because listen, if he turns that his own 110 into a 104 because of this trade. You know what I mean? Because he takes those points away. That's actually a win that's not even in the trade. So great idea, Roy. Good thinking. That's process thinking, Shane. Pay attention.
Yeah, it's first step of the process. Listen to the process. Okay. I had this comment here. I'm gonna put this up because it's first year in Dynasty. Welcome to the disease. We'll be with you for a while. Hopefully, Dynasty Trades in 5 will be on here for a while. First year in Dynasty, 12-team league, half PPR, start 10. Made 2 trades. Gave Diggs for ETN and the 205, and then gave the 104 for Lamar Jackson and the 209. I am rebuilding. Guessing Superflex, right?
That's what I'm thinking. If you gave up the 104 for
Lamar, yeah.
I'm good with this deal. I like the Diggs for ETN. The only thing is you're rebuilding and you bought a running back, which is basically buying a hand grenade. So I'd probably look to move ETN immediately. But I like getting Lamar for the 104 and a pick back. I don't know. That might be a 1 quarterback.
That's got to be.
I'm guessing it's 1 quarterback.
You know what? I talk about I like edges at the quarterback position. But I got to see the rest of your team to give the okay on this deal, to be quite honest with you. Giving up the 104 for Lamar Jackson and giving up Diggs for ETN is not really rebuilding in the way that I'd like to do it.
Interesting. Normally Shane is I'm paying up for the elite quarterback in a 1 quarterback league. And if it's a shallow 1 quarterback league, it's only start 10. So how do we know he can't turn ETN, Lamar, and that 205 and 209, combine that for another? I mean, why can't he contend now? Unless the rest of his team is just complete garbage.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I'd love to see the rest of your team DM if you could shoot that over to us at some point.
Yeah,
DM it to us.
DM it.
Yeah. And thanks for joining, and welcome to Dynasty. Good Lord, my wife hates Dynasty. Let's hide this right here. Hide the current comment. We're going to go to these banners. We'll go to this one. 10-team, 2 QB, half PPR, start 10. Gave Zach Wilson and a projected late 23 first. Got Breece Hall, Jimmy G, Tim Patrick, and a 23 second.
I don't like it.
I mean, you gave up a quarterback and a 23 first for Breece Hall.
I just saw 10. It's a 10-team 2 QB, so slightly different, but yeah, I guess it depends on who my other quarterbacks would be. Half PPR, 10-team, even though it's 2 QB, it has me leaning Breece Hall a little bit more now. But I can see both sides. If you needed a quarterback, I can see somebody having to give up an asset like Breece, and you still get the 23 first back as insurance. So I mean, if you can get a running back next year, you can hopefully maybe replace Breece production.
No, I don't like the Breece Hall side.
You like a package, yeah, because it's 2 key. If it's just 10-team super flex, would that change it?
No, to be quite honest with you, I like Zach Wilson in the 23 first. I don't think Jimmy G is even worth starting in this format, to be honest with you. Even in the 2 QB, I get you have to start a quarterback. There's none of that, like, I'm going to run a receiver out there for funsies. But even in that, I feel even worse being forced to start Jimmy G when I know he's going to give me 13 points.
I think the 2 QB part does change it a little bit. Like Jimmy G has some roster value if the team that's getting Breece has 2 other quarterbacks and they need a third. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be weeks where you're going to need to plug in your third. But you mentioned he's not worth starting. I mean, we'll see if the NFL thinks he's worth starting. So that's another thing, is he's kind of a roster clogger depending on your, the depth of your league. You got to hold him in a 2 QB, but I'm fine selling him if someone else will give me like a second for him in some format, waiting for him to start next year.
Sounds good. And I saw your comment there, Shane. Mark, thank you so much. Love the streams. $20 super chat. We appreciate you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Dude, Mark, $20. You get at least 2 trades. So post them in the chat later if you have any trades. Throw them in there. Appreciate it.
And don't tell anyone, but I think Mark should spell their names with K's. They're stupid.
I thought you were going to say Marks that spelled with C's are stupid. So he's gonna withdraw that $20 super chat.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Mark. And we talk with Mark in the comments a lot. Definitely engaged in there too. So hide this. Koogsy also gave us a tip. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone, even if you can't tip, no big deal. But we appreciate everyone who can. 14 teams startup, super flex, start 11.
Oh, yeah.
Tight end premium 2.0 tight end premium. Now we're talking on the clock. 102. Is this enough to give up Herbert or Pat Mahomes? Give 102, the 1002, and the 1402. Get the 211, 311, and 511.
I'd have to see the quarterback scoring, but like a lot of these leagues where the quarterback scoring is juiced up, I'm paying this to get Herbert.
Yeah, I'm not going back that far from 102 to 211.
Especially in a 14 team
super flex.
And it's start 2 tight ends. I'm actually okay doing this because in these start 2 tight ends, if you picture
So sorry to cut you off there, but just in case it changes your thought, I think it's just a 2.0 tight end premium. It's not start 2 tight ends.
Okay. Yeah, that does. And honestly, that might actually make it easier to accomplish what you're talking about with getting later tight ends, because you tend to see some of the like unsexy tight ends fall, like the Tyler Higbees and Austin Hoopers, but actually they're pretty easy to get in startups because people don't adjust enough. They'll still be taking, wide receiver 75 over those guys. Even though it's like, hey, if I ever have to flex one of these guys, I'd much rather flex a tight end than, a 10-point per game wide receiver. So I don't mind it if you just want to be different, but I think I'd probably pay that to get Justin Herbert.
All right, so I'm terrible at math. If he already has the 102, what's he got on the back end?
213 and 3.
213, 211. No, I'm not making this deal. I just looked at the quarterbacks in a 14-team super flex. They're going to go even harder. If you're okay with drafting Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa, nailed it. Then you can make this deal if you want.
And I don't think you even get those guys at the 211, Shane, or 213. I think you're like Lawrence will be far gone. He probably goes close to the first round.
Yeah, I'll go right at the end.
I think the only thing is the 10th and the 14th in a 14 team. That's pretty far back. That's the equivalent in a 12 team of like a 12th and a 17th. You know what I mean? So, almost those picks are almost outside of the usability range. So if you wanted, I would never do this because I'm all about getting the second elite quarterback if I could. So I would be the one that's like, hey, I'll give up the 2, the 3, the 5. But if you want to be different, then I guess you have more assets to play with the extra 2, 3, and 5. But you're just going to be kind of stuck with a meddling team.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, this would be fun to make that trade and then be like, oh, look at my wide receivers and my running backs.
Yeah,
I'd be like, I'm crushing it. And then I'd be like, and I'm starting Jimmy G and Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Yeah, I've got Matt Ryan
less than
Daniel
good.
Jones.
And then what am I going to do? I'm going to look to trade all those fun wide receivers and running backs I just got for a quarterback. 6-point passing touchdown. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm keeping the Herbert side.
Okay, here's one of Mark's trades here. Moved up in a 2 tight end league, 1 PPR for them as well. In my startup to grab Pitts, the trade ended up as Pitts plus Judy for Lamar and Dalvin. Good move. 12-team superflex start 11.
2-point.
I'd take Pitts at the 101 probably in that format.
Yeah, it's a 2-point PPR for
2 PPR and 2 tight end. He's impossible to replace with anything else. So it's really just the Lamar or the Dalvin for Judy pivot. I like the move.
Yep. Okay. We'll keep an eye out for another one of his. Okay, let's go to good old Gabe Davis. 10-team superflex start 9. Gabe Davis and Melvin Gordon got Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, great trade. You used Gabe Davis's hype against him, which I love. Melvin Gordon is actually older than Alvin Kamara, old enough to be his father, little known fact. And Alvin Kamara, from all reports, is probably not going to be suspended this year. So I like this as a win now move. And Alvin Kamara has probably got more usable fantasy value than either of these 2 players put together.
Yeah, even if Alvin Kamara is suspended for the entire season somehow, you're trading away 2 players that aren't cracking your lineup in a 10-team start 9. So yeah, this is a smash.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice job, Will Cox.
Yeah, and this is like kind of random out of nowhere, but in the chat, if you wouldn't mind, any players that we need to do a refresh on. If you go on our channel and go to the playlist, you can see wide receivers, running backs, all the different positions. Take a peek and see who needs a little rework. we've got some old ones in there. We should unlist the Darrell Henderson, buy him for a 23 first show that I keep bringing up.
No, come on, that's our archive. That's
it's our receipts. It's our receipts.
That's our growth process. Yes.
Yeah, look at the Miles Sanders video versus Trevor Lawrence video. Okay, hide this one here. Let's go back over to this side. 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 8. The sub, this is a three-way trade. Our sub gave Breece and a 23 third, got Olave and 223 firsts, early to mid at that. Team 2 gave Drake London and a 23 first, got Breece and 223 thirds, and Team 3 got London and gave Olave and a 23 first. And he had a note in there saying that it was a huge Falcons fan.
Just looking at
Shane.
All
I know is you walked. Yeah, Shane's like brain it's like actively dying.
I wish you could edit in like the question marks going in the air while his facial expressions are going through.
So at the end of the day, did he get Olave and 223 first?
He got Olave and 2 like juicy 23 first, and he won. He gave up Breece in a third.
Okay, yeah, he won. He won.
Yeah.
The one dude that got all he got out of all this was London. Yeah, and the other dude somehow another dude got Olave and a 23 first. I'm so confused.
No, that the guy who got London was the one who gave Olave and one of the 23 first to our sub.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Give me all
the London side is involved in 2 very bad processes.
yeah. The guy said it was a huge Falcons fan. There it is right there. 12-team Superflex tight end premium start 10 gave Antonio Gibson and Dalton Schultz, got a top 3 23 first.
Oh wow, yes.
Please. Got.
Thank you. Great trade, Got side. You don't have a name, you just got. Great job.
That's all that matters. Just change your name to Got.
All right, A-Town with the 8. Matching my Wi-Fi purchase with Shane's stolen credit card. Fantastic.
Shane super chatted his own show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to screenshot this right now.
All right, here's a good trade.
All right, let's see. You got a good trade. Thank you again, A-Town. And be safe up there. Okay. 10-team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 9. Give CeeDee Lamb. And this is I confirmed it's Jameson Williams. My computer was showing Ja Williams. My phone was showing Jameson after I asked Rob, I believe. Give CeeDee Lamb, Jameson Williams, Dak Prescott, J-Rob, and Mechie. Get DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Russ Wilson, Rojo, 23 first and 23 third.
I read that as DK Medicaid. I'm going. That's
DK Medicaid.
Look, I'm not a Russ Wilson guy, but yeah, give me the Russ Wilson side. You get the additional first. You get DJ Medicaid, Michael Pittman. I think Medicaid and Pittman more than equals CeeDee Lamb and Ja Williams, to be quite honest with you. And you get a free Rojo, which is always fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, as miraculous as it is that J-Rob is apparently going to be ready for week 1. That's great. John Mechie, unfortunately, isn't even going to be able to add any value to your roster for a little bit. So, yeah, look, Russ and Dak canceled themselves out, and then the rest of the trade is just the other side.
Especially 1 QB. The quarterbacks don't really move the needle either way there. So, nice deal.
Okay. Let's go to this one right here. 12-team, 1 QB, half PPR. Give Alvin Kamara, Julio Jones, and the 112. Get AJ Dillon, Josh Palmer, and 224 firsts.
It's 1 QB, but just give me the Dillon and the 224 first. I have a lot more flexibility with those picks flying around later on.
Yeah, Dillon and Kamara canceled themselves out, and even if they don't, the 24 first more than make up the difference on the other side. And even giving up Julio and a 112.
Okay, let me let's see here. Oh, that's a good one. Let me go to this right here because it was a question that I thought was a good one. Okay. 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 10, 6 point per pass TD. I have 8 firsts over the next 2 years. Really would like to buy an elite QB. How many first should I be willing to trade for a top six guy?
So here's the fun part, right? You got them spread out over 2 years. So that means I'll throw at least 3 at people, right? I'll throw 2 of next year. Well, I won't start with 2 of next year. I'll probably start with 2 2024s and 1 2023 and just see. But like there's a bunch of mix and matching you can do. Yeah. But quite frankly, it's 12-team super flex, 6-point passing touchdowns. I have literally no problem with this much capital of giving. I'd give up 4 if I was getting Mahomes, or if I was getting Justin Herbert, or if I was getting who's the other guy that's in there? Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'd pay 4 for Mahomes, Allen, or Herbert. I would pay 3 for the Burrow, Lamar, Kyler tier. I'd pay 3 for Burrow, even though people will say he's below Kyler and Lamar in a 6-point passing touchdown. I'm okay paying 3. And I think you probably offer a 23 first and the 24 first. I assume he has a couple 24 firsts in there, and let the person counter. The real question would be, are you paying 4 23 firsts for one of those elite quarterbacks?
No, and I won't have to because people.
And if I'm countering, no, I'm just taking the 23 first. If I see this guy has 8 of them and he's willing to pay 4, and he sends me an offer of like 2 and 2, I'm coming back, and like if I'm interested in doing the deal, I'm sending the 4 23s and seeing if he takes it.
Yeah,
so that's the question. If the guy counters with 4 23s, you still do it, Shane? If you're having Herbert or Mahomes in your inbox,
I'm going to counter with 3 and 1. I might even counter with 2 and 3. We got to see. I got a lot of different ways to move with all those first, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, and we've talked about 24 first. Yes, they're first, but also 2024 is basically 3 lifetimes away right now. And I already have a ton of draft capital. The hardest thing to get is an elite quarterback in Superflex. I'm going to get one of them. Eventually, I'm going to do what I need to get them. But I will definitely hit up both the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Justin Herbert owners, all 3 of them.
Well, here's a tactic, too.
Offer them the same trades.
If they're adamant that they need all your 23s, I would just say, I respect that, but I'm going to go and offer a 23 and a 24 for Dak and Russ, and basically tell them
I'll go a tier down.
You're going down a tier or 2, and they may look at it like, oh shit, I better try to get this guy's first because he has 8, and if I don't get him, someone else does, and then there's nobody else to get the first for. So maybe it kind of forces their hand a little bit.
Yep. Okay, man, we're already 52 minutes in. 138 eyeballs there. Thank you so much for joining. You look amazing out there. If you wouldn't mind looking down, just make sure you hit the like button if you're on YouTube. We'd appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, man, we have a ton of trades to go through. All right, you ready? Get your trade hats on. Shane, get your trade hat on.
Last call has been cut off. Unfortunately, we have a lot of questions in the queue.
We're gonna start ramming here. Ramming speed. 12-team Superflex start 10. Give 101, 106, and a 23 first late. Get 102, 105, and a 23 first early to mid. Context: he has 323 first, and I have 2. We're both rebuilding.
I prefer the give because the difference between 101 and 102 this year is further than I think the 23 first late and the 23 mid next year is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 105 and the 106 can just cancel each other out. I don't really care which one I have at that point. So it's really basically 101 and a late first for 102 and an early first. If that's truly a shot to be a top 3 pick next year, I will kind of just gamble on, you can still take
the get.
Yeah, you can still take Kenneth Walker with 102 and fulfill the running back placeholder, and then just take another shot on. Hopefully you get another shot on a running back next year. Interesting trade, though. I can see where somebody that wants Breece right now would be willing to bet against those first being where everyone thinks they're going to be. I like it.
Yep. 10-team Superflex PPR start 9 contender. Give CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts. Get Tyreek, George Kittle, 224 first, 225 first.
So it's 25, Shane. It's 4 first. That's 4 first for 2 positional upgrades.
Those 25 first might as well be Bitcoin NFTs to me. I have no idea what those are. So, I'll take CeeDee Lamb and Kyle Pitts.
Non-fungible tokens. You can buy Jake Paul's breath, air. You can buy fucking air.
That's fun.
It's ridiculous.
We need to start selling that.
Oh, we are selling air. Yeah. We are selling air. No, we haven't sold any yet.
Hot air.
We're selling Shane's air. 12-team Superflex start 9. Side A is Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Deshaun Watson. Look at all this stuff. J.K. Dobbins, Cam Akers, and Treylon Burks. Side B, Sky Moore, Shakir, Ebner, 220. It's side A.
And I guarantee this is
I
a
can't
sleeper league where the guy was able to get all those 25 picks and just literally throw the kitchen sink and somehow come back with Rodgers, Watson, Dobbins, and Akers, which are probably all starters, and Burks. Side B, what the hell are you doing? I don't understand.
Side B is in that perpetual rebuild, and I just wrote about this today in the DLF mailbag. But there's some people that actually don't know how to end a rebuild. They just like the rebuild, so all they ever do is rebuild. It's just like, shit, I got to trade.
I mean, their rebuilding is going now like another whole like election cycle, basically. Yeah. So good luck with that one.
Yeah, Obama was in office the first time they started their rebuild.
10-team Superflex, half PPR, start 11. Give Tyreek Hill, Chase Edmonds, and a 23 second. Get Hollywood Brown and a mid to late 23 first.
Yes, get rapid fire.
Okay. 12-team Superflex, start 11. Half PPR, or no. 12-team Superflex, start 11. It's 0.05 per completion, negative for an incompletion. Gave Josh Allen, got Joe Burrow, 23 first mid, and a 23 second. What do you think?
In a start 11, I understand being comfortable and okay with getting the got. So I wouldn't do it because I want a killer quarterback, and Joe Burrow's not that. He's more of a Dak Prescott, old Russ Wilson type of guy now. I'd prefer the Josh Allen side. I understand the Joe Burrow side.
Yeah, it's interesting with the completion numbers too, because that probably brings Burrow a little closer to Allen.
Yeah.
But I think it just comes down to
0.05.
Yeah, it's not going to move the needle a lot. It's probably the difference of maybe like 20 points across the season, which is maybe a point per game, maybe a point and a half per game, I would say. So, I mean, I can understand if you wanted to start 11. I can understand getting the 3-for-1. Like, I don't hate it, especially if it's one of those where the quarterback scoring in general, not just the completion part, is juiced. Mm-hmm. Like, we've done some startups where it's like, okay, Josh Allen scored 33 a game, but Burrow scored 29 a game, or 30 a game. It's in that type of format, I'd be okay doing it.
Yep. Okay. Let's go to this one here. Okay. Yeah. 12-team Superflex, half PPR, start 9. Traded Stafford, Tyler Lockett, 23 second for a 23 first projected early, Baker Mayfield, Darnold, and Godwin. So Stafford, Lockett in a second for
23 first and Godwin.
Projected early, 23 first Superflex.
Yeah, and I think what you can do is turn around and add. You can basically go and add something to try to get a better quarterback now, and you essentially turn a second and lock it into a first. Mm-hmm. If you can find a way to get a quarterback, like can you go trade the early 23 first and get literally find somebody that can get close to Stafford? You know what I mean? And you got basically Godwin for Lockett in a 23 second. I would do that.
Oh, look at this. Ray GQ's in the building. Yes,
what
sir.
Up, dude?
What up, Ray?
All right. Let's see here. Oh, Mark, let's put up another one. You gave us $20 super chat. We said we give you 2. You deserve 7. What should I give up to potentially move up to get Pitts in this 14-team Superflex start 10, 0.5 tight end premium? Started with Josh Allen at the 102, have all other picks. 201 is on the clock now. Somehow Pitts is still there. Oh, wow.
So it's 1.
Shane's credit card.
Yeah, I just definitely use my credit card, but there's a limit on it. That's the problem.
Did they take
it's already at 99%.
Did they take Discover?
Start 10.
So he's got the 211, right? I assume, or the 213 since it's a 14-teamer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at pick 16 now, or pick 15, and Pitts is still there. So I'm guessing it's been like what we talked about earlier, where there's been 12 something quarterbacks off the board, probably.
Yeah.
I'd be fine sending my 213 and 302 and getting back like a 5th. Mm-hmm. Make it look like, hey, this person's getting 2 rounds of value. Because once you get to that 3rd round pick that he's going to be picking at, it's going to be kind of like a dead zone anyway, where people are just going to be taking their filler quarterbacks. You're going to be seeing, the Carrs and Tuas and Zach Wilsons go, and you already have Josh Allen, so I'd be okay kind of just waiting to see what quarterbacks fall. I guess the other thing would be, I'm guessing there's no quarterbacks here worth trading up to get. There's probably already like 11 or 12 gone, so Pitts is probably the clear value.
Yeah, that's the thing is you can pretty much infer that in a 14-team super flex at this point of the draft. Hopefully, I don't know. Well, Pitts is probably there because all the quarterbacks are off the board, and it's probably already in the tier 3 quarterbacks. So, yeah, go ahead, do it. Move up. I'd give them my 3rd and my 4th if they wanted, to be quite honest with you. Give me the 2nd and the 6th back I'll start with, and I'll accept like the 2nd and the 7th or the 8th.
Yeah. These guys have done a lot of startups. Okay. Gave Stafford and Drake London to get Herbert. We're just throwing up a brag one here. Yeah, nicely done. Nathan, go ahead and take the week off. We talked to your employer. He said you're good. Okay. What do you think the median price may be for medium stakes in a Superflex? Okay, what's median price for Superflex now? Is 75 enough? Yeah, I mean, what? We play in a lot of $50 leagues.
Yeah,
nice.
I think 75 to like 150 is a good range to where people are invested, but it's not like, because I'm in some leagues that are a lot more than that. And when there's teams that are bad, it's like, hey, you want to, first of all, you got to say, okay, it's a $400 buy-in and the team sucks. Who wants to pay for it? Nobody.
Yeah.
And but you also don't want to necessarily be giving away teams for free. So I think there's a sweet spot to where, just my experience, if you have a $100 league, you can usually find a manager if you give them half off or you give them a year free. Like you can always find somebody to come in. But once you get more than that, you almost need to pay like 5 years in advance. Otherwise, it can be a mess to fill.
Yeah, and it could like slow down trading and stuff. People are just like more nervous, more hesitant playing. That's not as fun.
Well, you commish, Clay. If you're collecting future dues for trading picks, and it's $300 buy-in, there's people that'll just go, I'm not trading because I don't have the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of defeats the purpose of allowing them the flexibility to trade. You don't want to make it so prohibitive that it's like, dude, if you trade away 2 picks, you got to pay $600.
Yeah. Okay. Gave ETN, got Mariota, Judy, and a 23-second. We don't know.
Do not like.
I mean, I think context needed probably on the format, but yeah, this kind of feels like 3/4 for $1. I'll pass.
Unless this is triple flex. In that case, I still want ETN side.
It's probably triple flex. Okay. Received Ezekiel Elliott, Mike Williams. Whoa. Did you star? Okay. You gave a double here.
Why are you blaming me?
No, it's not on you. It's not on you. Gave Eckler, Christian Watson, and a 24 mid-second.
And
received Ezekiel Elliott, Mike Williams, and a 23-second.
I don't like it.
Zeke, Mike Williams, or Eckler, Christian Watson.
I'd rather have
Eckler
by a lot
Watson
over Zeke. And I've already talked about Mike Williams as in wide receiver 4 because he had 1 wide receiver 13 season because he had 8 decent weeks last year. People somehow now think he's a really great wide receiver. Oh, he's tied to Herbert. Yeah, he was tied to Herbert when he was wide receiver 50 in points per game too. But anywho, specific to this trade, I'll take Eckler and Christian Watson in the second.
Yeah, I can understand trying to get the running back upgrade. Shane's next birthday party, we need to get him a Mike Williams pinata.
Yeah, no, for sure.
He's just not a fan.
The problem is you're not upgrading when you go from Eckler to Zeke. You're downgrading.
Right, but you're upgrading Mike Williams from Christian Watson. But I get it. I'd rather have the running back shot at like an elite season. So I get it. I get it. It's just funny how you've turned on Mike Williams so quickly.
I don't dislike specific players. I don't like narratives around them that aren't supported by facts.
Let's see here. My wife hates me playing Dynasty. What do I do?
Hey, BJ.
Start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, BJ, definitely DM me. You definitely want to take marriage advice from me.
Do not listen to Shane.
Yeah.
Because he is no longer married.
These hands. No rings on these fingers.
Shane has nice clean hands. Okay. Let's see. How many, these are star ones here. How many second round picks would you give for a wide receiver 2? Any any age. I have 4 each in the next 2 draft classes, 12 team, Superflex, half PPR. Okay, so how many second round picks would you give for a wide receiver 2?
So here's the thing, right? Wide receiver 2 that's a wide range. Wide receiver 13 is very different than the wide receiver.
So let's pick
24.
one. Let's pick well, you see, so like Hollywood Brown, for example, people aren't going to sell.
I'll give you 4 seconds for
yeah,
him.
exactly. People aren't going to sell him.
If you're talking wide receiver 2s, just using like DLF, there's like Tyreek, Deontay, DJ Moore, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, Marquise Brown, Rashad Bateman, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Garrett Wilson, Jerry Jeudy, Mike Williams, wide receiver 24. Yeah. Shane, would you give up 4.23 seconds for Mike Williams?
No, but I'll give you 2.
That's
I'll give you 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like Jerry Jeudy. So
I will also give you 2.
I would give. I give 3, but kick me back a third.
See, you're right. Like you're not getting probably Drake London for even like 4.23 seconds. Yet you could probably get some of the lower end ones like Mike Williams or Mike Evans. You could probably get them for 2 or 3.
Yep.
So I'd say 2 or 3 is the sweet spot, but try for all of them first. Don't just go right to Mike Evans and give them all away.
Okay, let's oh, here we go. 12 team. Oh, is this the trade that comes up every Saturday? 12 team super flex. Our boy Ruben. How are you, Ruben? 12 team super flex, 0.25 PPC, start 12, 2 PPR for tight end, DK, Metcalf, or London, and 2 23/3.
I have to recuse myself from this due to conflicts of interest.
Well, so here it is. It's point per carry.
Start 12. Point per
I actually want the thirds in point per carry leagues, especially in these leagues where I can get like spot start running backs for them. And I know Shane's going to disagree, but Shane might have been possibly involved in this trade. But you're telling me Drake London will not have the same value as DK Metcalf next year? I think he will. If anything, I think he has higher value. I don't hate it. It's a risk on Ruben's side. Like the risk that he's taking is Drake London could just be a bust and then he loses the deal. But I don't hate it. Well done, Ruben. You got one over on one of our co-hosts.
Well, you got the risk side wrong. I'm the one that actually got London in the picks.
Okay.
And it was
I like that side, Shane. I like it.
Because of the tweet you put out where 75% of the respondents said they would take DK Metcalf over Drake London. And I said, Drake London was the wide receiver 1 in this rookie class. Even if you don't believe in him, that he's got top 12 wide receiver upside.
Yep.
And Metcalf, as much as I love him, has as much risk as Drake London does, except Drake London is younger. So, yeah.
And were you have quite a bit of DK too, don't you?
Not as much as I thought I did. I actually have more London than I do DK.
Interesting.
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just throw this up. Zane, Shane, Clay, Scott, thank you for the roster review and great suggestions. Don't worry, I wasn't intending on trading Herbert or Lamar.
Thank
you, Zane. Yeah, yes. Appreciate you doing the.
We were scared the whole time that's what you were going to go back and do, and we were just like, if anything, do not trade either one of those. No. You have a nice building block right there.
And hit us up with some of those trade ideas, dude. We'd love to see them.
Yeah, for sure. And Shane and Scott do roster reviews. Instead of seeing my my ugly face in the middle here, it's actually the your roster, and it's Shane and Scott next to it doing private roster reviews on it. So if you're interested, just hit us up, dynastytradesand5@gmail.com. All right. Zane, we will hide that one. Mark Wilson, 12 team PPR super flex. Would you trade my 2022 108 and Kamara for the 104 and a 23 first? Yes.
Yeah. Goodbye, Kamara. I mean, giving up Kamara is the hardest part of that, right? Yeah, not even close. And the 104 and the 108, that's a pretty wide difference there in the quality of player, even though at 108 you're getting my heartthrob James Cook.
I think the 23 first year kind of changes the scope of it, because I'm actually intrigued in buying Kamara, but I'd like to do it by buying for a late first and 22 type value.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this deal.
Yep. Okay. What time is it? 108. We'll keep going for a couple minutes here. Yes. Scott.
Got it.
Okay. Second trade of the week for Jeffrey Jacobs. 12 team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium. Start 10. Gave Kyle Phillips Shane's face. I can't stop laughing here. Got the giggles here. All right, 23-second first or second pick of the round. Got Pickens and a 23 fourth. So sorry, that was gross. Gave Kyle Phillips and a 23-second. Got Pickens and a 23 fourth.
So either the 201 or the 202 for George Pickens. I'm fine with Pickens, not a player I particularly like, even though a lot of people really do. But that might be a reason to trade for him, especially after the week of camp he's had. He's just been lights out, probably going to be the wide receiver one of the class. So, yeah, I'll take the Pickens side.
Yeah, easy. You're getting rid of a roster clogging receiver and getting Pickens for a second. Do it. Gone.
Okay, let's
And that Kyle Phillips, that was definitely, dude was like, I can't accept the trade because you have too many players on your roster. You need to cut one or just add another. And he was like, here's Kyle Phillips.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It was to make the trade be able to happen. 12-team super flex, start 10, PPR, 6 point per passing TD. Got Javonte Williams, Matt Stafford, and a late 23 second. Gave up Burrow and Tony Pollard. Did I get enough for Burrow?
Yeah, 6 point passing touchdowns. I don't hate this because I think you could probably liquidate Javonte for pieces that you wanted that would make this trade look similar or even better. Like if you would say a 23 first and a 24 first or something in this trade, I think we would all pivot off Burrow for Stafford. I'm good with it.
The difference between Stafford and Burrow is much closer than Javonte and Tony Pollard in a second. So yeah,
it's just probably like ceiling and then
Javonte.
Age. That's it. I mean, if you can get extra assets, do it. Like the deal.
Okay, we'll hide that. We'll do 5 minutes. What do you think, guys? Does that work?
You're the boss. Whatever you tell me, sir.
I'm not the boss.
This is where Clay usually gets a little tired behind the wheel.
And he starts yelling.
Historically, historically.
And then he yells at us when we go off air, guys. Don't be fooled by this.
Look at me, honestly. Quite the
do yeller. Better next show.
Yes, sir. Can you explain the best player available strategy?
I was just going to say we'll hit this one on another video because it's probably we don't have time to do it tonight. But we'll favorite it, Jordan. I think it's a good topic to get into, and it's the opposite of leverage. So I'll hit that. Okay,
12-team super flex, best ball, start 13, tiered PPR, 0.25 points for 0 to Gave Lawrence and Hunt, got Tua and Ayuk, start 13.
Man,
I'm sticking with the T-Law side.
I'm so down on Lawrence, but I'm even further down on Tua. So
it's best. We don't do a lot of best ball, and I'm still kind of learning the theory behind. I mean, I'm fascinated about best ball and how it differs from lineup. But I think this is one where in best ball you would probably be okay either side, depending on. Because I think Lawrence and Tua effectively kind of fill the same spot in best ball. You're just hoping you have enough quarterbacks to spike in given weeks. But the other thing with Hunt is Hunt is the perfect player to have in best ball as a filler running back because you never have to start him. Every game he catches 6 passes and he didn't start. You get him in your lineup. So I think I'd lean that side just based on that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel the same way about Ayuk. I don't know exactly when I can start him, but I'm probably going to wish that I did on the weeks that he hit.
Right.
I think Lawrence is just that much better than Tua, and I'm that down on Tua that
I mean, I think I'd rather have Lawrence. Mm-hmm. So that's what it comes down to. I could probably flip Lawrence if I wanted to change out Lawrence easier than Tua.
Yeah.
Okay, Heavy 12-team Superflex PPR, 1.5 tight end premium, start 10, giving away Javonte, Terry McLaurin, a mid-23 first, and a 23 second, getting Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones.
I'm okay with it. It's a good package for the get side too, because you're getting essentially a usable receiver, a 23 first, and a second. And I think if you wanted, you could take Javonte and maybe get like CeeDee Lamb for Javonte, and you put CeeDee Lamb in that trade, and you're kind of going like, okay, I might take that side. You know what I mean? So I like both sides, but I can be fine with what he's getting. If he's getting Aaron Jones, I think has a 1 or 2 year window of having better ceiling than Javonte actually.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, no, that's a good trade. Both sides. Okay, let's go here. 12 team, two. Did we already do this? Yes.
We did this one.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It was 423 first, right? Okay, let's go to a few. Still have a bunch of banners. If you're in here and you post them in the community posts, and I didn't get to it, my apologies. We had a lot of trades tonight.
Rip through them, Clay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's go, baby.
Start 7.
My wife is gonna hate me even more.
Mark Andrews.
This is Mark Andrews by $1 million.
Yep.
We're gonna give percentages here. By $1 million, it's Mark Andrews.
Yes, do it.
1,000,000%. Okay. Next is, we did that one. Here is 10 team, 2 QB, PPR, start 8. Give Miles Sanders, Davis Mills, the 202. Get Trey Lance and Logan Thomas.
Trey Lance and cut Logan Thomas. Done.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Just
excellent.
cut him.
You turned Miles Sanders and Davis Mills into what could be a top 8 quarterback. Good job.
10 team, 2 QB, PPR, start 8, rebuild. Give Josh Jacobs, Allen Robinson. Get Michael Gallup, a 23 second and a 24 first.
You did good. I like that. Gallup for Josh Jacobs, whatever. Allen Robbins for the second. Yeah. 24 first, free. Yes. Good.
Yeah, I like it because you're rebuilding. I think the other thing is that, like, you're throwing a bone here to the team that's giving because they're getting probably 2 usable players and they're giving up all just fringe shit. So I don't know. Rebuild, it's more fun to have the second side, but I can also see make somebody pay a little bit more than this. This is a dream deal. If you're giving away you're going, let's see, what can I grab from my bench and get starters for,
Yeah. All right. We got that one. Here is the next one. 12 team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium start 12. Give Lamar and Treylon Burks. Get Kyle Pitts, Matt Ryan, and a mid 23 first.
Can I take the Matt Ryan and 23 first and go get a better quarterback? If so, then I'm smashing that side.
No, you can't. Because Matt Ryan plays absolutely no part in any deal that you can make for a quarterback after this.
Can I go get Justin Fields for that?
What about Stafford?
I don't know that you can get Stafford for just a 23 first right now because the season's approaching.
And Matt Ryan,
you're giving Matt Ryan.
Yeah. I don't know that you could get Matt Stafford for 23 first. If I know, and this is one where I got to work the room, if I know I can get a quarterback like Justin Fields, Matt Stafford, or Jalen Hurts, probably not that low. If I could, I think I'm going to do it then because, well, Kyle Pitts is a man among children.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. 12 team Superflex, half PPR, start 9, contender. Give Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley, and a late 23 first. Get Breece Hall and a 23 second. Yes,
because somehow you managed to get Calvin Ridley in there and get him off your team, and you basically turned a wide receiver who's not going to play for a Breece Hall and a first and second swap. So love that deal, especially in half PPR, start 9. Yeah. Yes, give me Breece.
Yep. Okay. 10 team Superflex PPR 1.5 tight end premium start 10. Give Pittman and Brandon Cooks. Get DJ Moore at a mid to late 23 first. Then he or she would like to cascade and give DJ Moore, Tyler Boyd in a third, and get Jahan Dotson and a late 23 first.
So I just wonder,
why don't you just stop?
Stop. Yeah, I would have stopped at the DJ Moore in the 23 first because then you gave up more to get worse.
No, he turned Cooks, Pittman, and Tyler Boyd in a third into 2 firsts.
No, he didn't.
And Jahan Dotson.
No,
yeah.
He gave.
Oh, Shane. Yeah,
okay,
he gave Pittman, Cooks, Moore, Pittman, Cooks, Boyd in a third for 2 firsts and Jahan Dotson. He smashed this.
Yeah, he kept that first.
Okay, so he kept the first. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no, I like this a lot better now that I understand.
It's fantastic. Nicely done.
Yeah, he's probably sitting there going like, wait a second. Yeah.
All right, you did good. Sorry, bro.
Great move.
Nicely done. Okay, 10 team, 2 QB, PPR, start 8. Give Mike Evans, get Hollywood, and the 304.
to do this every day of the week. You got an age discount of what, 3-4 years? Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
Okay.
Remember, no one likes old people. That's just my motto.
12-team Superflex 2.0 tight end premium start 12. Give Ross Wilson 23 first. Get Deshaun Watson, Chris Godwin. Yep.
I can see the appeal to the give side too. I made a similar deal like this like 2 months ago where I got Russ and gave up Watson and essentially swapped a 23 first for 2 pieces that wasn't a 23 first. So I think I can see the appeal of both sides. This is a good haul. If you want Watson off your team, this is a decent haul, I think.
I like this Watson. I love the Watson side. I mean, you got Watson who probably won't play for 8 games. Godwin, apparently he's going to play week 1. Who knows? But no, yeah, give me the Watson side.
Okay. Got to keep ramming here, guys. 12-team Superflex PPR start 10 rebuild. Gave Deontay Johnson 24 first. Got Chris Olave and a 23 first.
Done. You smashed that.
I like when this is one of those deals where we were talking about being creative. You got creative. I like it.
Yes, for sure. Great deal.
Yeah, good trade. Okay, 12-team Superflex start 10. Give Kadarius Toney and a 23 second. Get Tyreek Hill.
I don't appreciate this because I just slandered old people, but I would take this deal pretty much every day of the week. Give me all that Tyreek Hill for freaking Toney in a second. Yes,
give Shane all that Tyreek Hill for about 7 minutes, and then he's getting traded.
Yeah, you're gonna be furious when you trade for Tyreek Hill.
I mean, I don't know how long he'll be on my roster after that. Correct.
7 minutes, and then he's getting spammed for other
this
trades.
Specific deal, I would definitely take him. I probably would trade him immediately for something else, but no, yeah, this is as cheap as I've ever seen Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap, Tyreek. Here was a good one. This one is close. It's got Shane's favorite Mike Williams in it too. 10-team Superflex PPR start 10. Give Mike Williams and a mid 23 first. Get CeeDee Lamb.
I'm taking Lamb only because it's a 10-team.
Process with the pick and the Williams. I'm taking Lamb. Get out of here. He's wide receiver 3 in Dynasty, and he hasn't even earned it yet. Imagine when he earns it.
It's a 10-team too. That again, we have to stress the quarterbacks in 10-team leagues are not going to push the value of the picks up. If that ends up being the 107 next year in a 10-team, you're going to be sitting at the 107 going, cool, I can draft the wide receiver 4 in the class, and you're going, I wish I had CeeDee Lamb. So yeah, give me that.
Okay, let's go to this one. 12-team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 9. And it looks like we have 3 more after this. Side A, David Montgomery, Mark Ingram. Side B, Chase Edmonds, 23 second, 24 second. Side A.
Yeah, I mean, this is back to like the best player available because the extra picks in side B are only worth what you can con somebody else into giving something for. They're not actually going to move the needle in a 10-team start 9. So Monty.
12-team, 1 QB, half PPR, start 8. Give Christian Kirk 23 second, 223 first. Get CeeDee Lamb. Context has 5 of those 23 firsts.
Yeah, 1 QB, start 8, half PPR. Yeah. I'm okay taking the Lamb side, and I'm guessing with 5 first, he has selectively chosen the 2 he's giving away, and he's not giving away the one that could be, a top 3 pick. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I don't want to give up too many 23 firsts. And
how deep would this have to be? Start what before you're like, oh, I don't know. Start 9? Does that change it?
I don't think the starters matter much. I think the difference here is if you give up the 101, the 101 next year is the 102 next year is as valuable as CeeDee Lamb because it's a running back in a start 8 half PPR. But if he gives up 2, 109 and 110, then that who cares?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. 12-team. Have we done this? Nope. 12-team Superflex half PPR start 10. Give Olave and a 24 second. Get 224 first.
Picks.
Interesting. And a 23 second.
Yeah, I'll take the picks.
Just go ahead and.
I mean, it's half PPR. So if you can re-roll and again, maybe push those into running backs, I'd rather have the 23 second over the 24. And I mean, on the clock this year, there were times where I'm at like the 109, 110, and I was spamming for 24 first and couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And Olave is like 106, 107. You know what I mean? Like you get the
Yeah.
extra first. Give me that. Good trade. That's getting creative for sure.
Definitely. Okay. And we already did this one, didn't we?
Yep.
That's all I have in my hopper. Guys, what are 124 hours we did this.
Wow, that's a long time. Wow.
Guys in the crowd, thank you for joining. Make sure you or do us a favor, look down, make sure you hit that like button. We'd appreciate
likes
that.
are big. We like likes.
And yeah, I asked one quick thing. So I asked that question in the community post, asking how much of the screen you're actually watching when you're watching our videos. I'll show you guys, Scott and Shane, what the results were. But the reason for that question is we were trying to get your thoughts. If we were to launch or drop a strategy type show once a week that didn't have as much high flying editing, if you would still enjoy that, or if that would be something that would not be attractive to you. So that was the whole idea behind that question. But we're big boys. We can figure it out. But as always, thank you very much. We appreciate your engagement. Appreciate you joining on here. Guys, do you want to say anything?
No, I really appreciate everyone sticking with us for an hour and 25 minutes.
Yeah, and 120 strong still going.
Yeah.
I mean, really appreciate everybody for the engagement. We're to the point where we're getting, 4 times as many questions as we could even answer on the show. So, I mean, that's thank you.
Keep bringing them. We'll keep doing this every Saturday. We
man.
appreciate it.
Yep, for sure. Thanks, everybody.
All right, y'all. We'll see you soon.
Be chill.
Bye, Shane.